Hi there, Scorpio. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a great February. If you're watching this in March, if you're still watching in February, then I hope that the month rounds off to a great finish for you. Interesting. Very interesting. Judgment in reverse, Two of Swords upright. Very interesting, Scorpio. We'll get to it. Hermit, upright. Two major arcana so far. Big change and transformation. You're trying to seek clarity with something. You're trying to seek clarity with something before you make a decision on it. And it seems that this decision is significant. It's like a momentous sort of energy, Scorpio. One second. Okay. But you're taking the time to really think about it in solitude and quietness, which can be a Scorpio thing, right? It can be a Scorpio thing, absolutely. Needing to take your time to think in the recesses of your mind, right? That reclusive sort of nature. Especially when Scorpio is thinking about something, focused on something, right? I have a Scorpio rising. I know the archetype very well. I have dealt with the Scorpio archetype. I know. Right? It's like when you need to make a decision about something, especially when it's something important, right, that you feel is very important, you need that time to think through it. Because you want to act from a place that is real, that is deep. Wow. And this chunk almost came flying out. So it is deep, right? Absolutely it's deep. It's like there's a well. There's a well from which you are acting on. Aha. Aha. Six of Swords upright, the Magician in reverse. Major Arcana popping out for you, Scorpio. This is something significant. Absolutely. This change that it's speaking to the very core of your being. And Capricorn got a very similar energy. Okay, Capricorn got the Magician in reverse, got Judgment in reverse, got the Two of Swords upright. Scorpio, if you have a Capricorn rising, ascendant, or moon sign, or if you simply know another Capricorn archetype, right, or somebody who just has a lot of that Capricorn kind of energy, check out that video. As I feel that there is overlap. This wants to come out. Aha. Three of Cups. It's okay. Okay. There's a lot going on underneath the surface, Scorpio. Okay. Seven of Cups in reverse. I'm sensing frustration, Scorpio. Is there something that you're frustrated with that you feel it's like, because look, you have a lot of energy brewing underneath the surface, right? Energy that is passive, that is not yet active, that is not yet activated, that is not yet worked on, right? As we see with the magician. The magician works his magic, right? But you're in a state of still ruminating on what magic you want to create. Exactly. You have a feeling, you have an inkling, absolutely. You have that, right? Knowing, that inner knowing, I need to create something. I want to create something. Son of Pentacles has to do with a creative venture of some sort. Absolutely. That speaks to your being, right? Something that's very, very special to you, that's very deep to you, that speaks to you, right? That isn't just arbitrary. It is very deliberate. Very deliberate. And it has to do with career. This wants to come out. But there is resistance. Absolutely, there's resistance, Scorpio. And I feel this card wants to come out. Let's go with that. Wow. Scorpio, you're resisting something. Absolutely. Tower in reverse. 5 of Swords. It speaks to the illusion. The illusion of fear, right? The illusion of a boundary in our minds, right? The red tape. Look at this card. This worm. This one sword is slicing right through it. It's almost like, I don't want to do this, right? Oh, the worm. Like, I don't want to hurt the worm. I don't want to kill the worm, right? Like, why can't we just all live in peace? Well, this is not peaceful. This situation is not peaceful, right? The sword has to draw some sort of clarity. A fine line, right? A definitive line through all of this chaos in order to make progress, right? So it's like change needs to be made. The decision needs to be made. The change needs to be made. Judgment eventually, right? You have to rise above the situation that's not working, that is chaotic, that does not bring a sense of progress forward for you. But the tower has not yet come down. The tower has not yet come down. Especially with Judgment in reverse there. There's like momentous energy waiting to transform and transmute. Just waiting. And I feel like you're trying to finalize, crystallize the direction, the strategy, the exact strategy with which you want to move forward. Capricorn got so similar of a reading. Check it out. Check out Capricorn's reading. Okay, I feel that there absolutely is crossover. Now, 5 of Swords speaking to the need to cut through the red tape, that illusion of a boundary, right? The feeling of, I just got to do it, just got to rip off the Band-Aid and do it, right? I have to take down what I know is not serving me and my higher purpose. I need to take down the illusions. This card in and of itself, the 7 of Cups, also speaks to illusion as well, right? It's like, wait, are the cups on this white mountain and is it nighttime? Or are the cups in the sky and it's daytime and the mountain is shadowed black? It's like, which one is it? Well, it's neither. It's just what you perceive it as, right? That's what this card really speaks to, is like the perception, the importance of perception, right? And the importance of listening to your intuition, right? It's about the answer comes from within, comes from you. It's about your relativity, your space of relativity in relation to whatever it is you're perceiving. Scorpio, you're really good with this concept. Really good with this concept. So I'm sensing that you are not engaging in this kind of ring around the rosy, what do I really feel about this? No, I think you know what you feel about this. You know something needs to be done. A decision needs to be made. Judgment needs to be had in a very clear and decisive way. The black or the white. And you're not afraid to do that, but you want to make sure that before you do that, you're moving forward in a very clear direction. You're not afraid to do it. You're not afraid to do it. But once you do it, you're going to need, right, to just move right through whatever, even nostalgia, right? The worm is sort of like, it's sort of like vulnerability. It's sort of like childhood nostalgia. It's sort of like, right, what will we leave behind in this world when we're moving forward into the next? It's like, oh, I don't want to take down this tower, right? Like, I've been living in this tower, even though it's kind of like a dollhouse. It's not a real home, right? Inevitably, it needed to come down. That's what the tower speaks to. So, but I'm feeling like you, okay, and regardless, right? Scorpio is not one for wanting to live in the shadow space, right? Scorpio is a very, it's a plutonic energy, right? Ruled by Pluto. So I'm feeling that you will have no problem with doing this, and you've deciphered, right? You've deciphered your the clarity of how you emotionally view the situation. Like what satisfies me and what doesn't? What emotionally satisfies me and what doesn't? And you will have no problem, right? Drawing that line between black and white, between yes and no, between this is the way I'm going and that's the way that I'm leaving behind me, right? You will have no problem doing that, taking down this tree. But it's just that final, right? That final push, that final decision point, right? That is still not yet being made. And I'm feeling again, it's due to this decisive energy, right? The need to feel absolute in our direction forward. Absolute, right? And that again is a very Scorpio thing, right? All or nothing. Very extreme sort of feeling, right? Like if I make this decision, I have to feel it in my bones. I have to feel it in every sort of ember of my being before I make that decision, right? I have to move forward completely solid within myself, right? So you're waiting to align, right? Your mentality, your strategy, your intellectual, rational mind, right? As it perceives the implementation of fire, creation, wielding your different elements, water as well. Okay, and I'm feeling that it absolutely, again, has to do with some sort of creative venture that speaks to you independently. The Son of Pentacles, setting out on his own, right? It's like, I'm going to head out into this forest. And what I'm taking with me may not be much. It's simply my vision for what I do want to create, right? Which is harbored in my knowing of who I am at my core, the magician, right? I'm the alchemist of my life. I will create. So the Son of Pentacles sets out on this journey, right? With this inherent knowing and yet not knowing, right? There's a mystery to it. There's a mystery to the journey in and of itself. Of once we leave behind this world, right? What are we going to face? Right? Once we cut through this worm and we leave the situation, what are we going to face? Once we take down this tower, right? There's no going back in a way, right? So I feel that inherently, right? It's what's very important. What's the nucleus really? The glue that binds your resilience in moving forward on this journey, right? And whatever it is that you will create is your inherent alliance that you have in and of yourself with knowing who you are and what you want to manifest, given the energy of the magician. The magician, right, is sort of like a magical energy. Right? The magician has all the tools at his disposal. The magician can create whatever the magician wants, right? But he's guided by his intuition. Look at the figure 8 on his chest. It's kind of like, okay, I understand, right, that I have all these tools now, all these elements: fire, earth, water, air. What I will create with these tools will be something that is derived from the inside out, from my soul, right? And that's what's the driving force in whatever journey you're embarking on, whatever new journey that I'm feeling regards your career. Okay, this is sort of an enterprising energy as well, entrepreneurial. Okay, so it speaks to you very personally. It's like I'm creating from within myself, right? Who I am, my skill sets, right? And it's about the acquaintance of that space and of that truth, that personal truth that characterizes this new beginning for you. But inherently, right, you have to do away, discard this old world, right? This old way of thinking, rather. This old, even habit, right? Pattern. There's a lot of like change, transformation underway, waiting right beneath the surface, just brimming. It's about to burst. But what's necessary at the same time is the doing away, right? Is the detoxification from what holds us down from this uprising, kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? So, I will say this. There's a big element of faith as well that I'm getting here. Okay, there's a big element of faith. It's kind of like you need to take the dive. You need to take the jump. You need to slice through this worm. You need to just do it. You need to rip the Band-Aid off, right? But there's rumination. You're thinking. Look, underneath the 5 of Swords, you have the 3 of Cups. I'm feeling like there's nostalgia. There's a feeling of like, there's this complacency. There's this perhaps a situation that I feel tied to in some way. Maybe I grew up in this environment. Maybe this is something that I've been involved in, that I characterize myself by for whatever reason, right? And based on any kind of circumstance that it may be. But it's almost like this is an illusion, this world. This is like one of those pictures that you get, right, on the cruise ship with that fake backdrop. It's like, that's not real, you know? And that's not emotionally satisfying. That's overshadowing true emotional satisfaction and personal identity, right? Like these cups and these birds are all kind of the same. The point of this illustration is not the personal identity of the birds or what makes them personally emotionally satisfied. The point is the environment, the circumstance that brings them together technically, right? It's like, oh, we're all here on this branch together. We're all looking at the sunset together, right? That's why we're together. See, so there's a feeling of like needing to do away with that illusion, which is again what the Tower speaks to, illusion. The illusion of stability, which inevitably was going to come down. But it's about taking the dive and doing it. Taking the tree down. Leaving the dollhouse, so to speak. And deciding with clarity on how you're going to move forward, how you're going to take this dive. That could also be part of it. How am I going to how am I going to strategize this? But that's also an illusion, right? It's kind of like you don't need to plan how you're gonna fly. It's like you just fly. You just have to like jump and fly, right? Listen to your intuition, of course, always. But metaphorically speaking, this bird, right? It's like the bird doesn't have to think, okay, well, before I jump, let me write this down. Okay, I need to like lift my right wing and my left wing, and then I need to flap them at the same time. It's like, no, right? Like the bird just operates from a space of internal sort of almost intuition, instinct. And that's what the Son of Pentacles driving into the Magician is kind of beckoning you to do, is like charge forward. Utilizing this faith, this energy, this knowing, this self-reliance, even this faith in and of yourself, right? Of yourself. Who am I, right? It's like this is what's carrying you through the journey. This knowing of what you can create, this potential, your potential, believing in your potential. Scorpio, that's what I'm feeling for you, right? That's a big theme here I'm feeling. And it's about doing away with what is complacent, with the status quo, where we kind of feel, okay, well, this is comfortable, right? Comfortable, but is comfortable really speaking to our soul truth, really pushing the envelope, pushing us beyond the confines of what harbors our growth, right? And it's interesting because you have so much movement, and then you have interplayed with that energy is like rumination, is like strategy, is like, but it's almost like you don't really need strategy. You know what I mean? You just need to like rip the Band-Aid off, say what you need to say, right? Yes, it may hurt some feelings, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what's right for you, Scorpio, right? It's almost like this. It's almost like this. It's like, okay, it's like, like in the movies, there's that scene where like, there are two characters, let's say, and one of them, like two friends, and one of them is like, pushing the other one, oh, go do that, go up to that person and say whatever, right? And the other friend is like, kind of like avoiding it, kind of like, well, yeah, okay, I will, but wait, but okay, I have to think about it. Well, hold on, I need to like strategize, and making kind of excuses to bide their time, right? To buy time that will delay needing to make the move that they need to make. Even though they know and they want to do it, it's just almost like a performance anxiety. You just need to do it. You just need to rip off the Band-Aid, right? You just need to tell these people the truth, maybe. These are people, coworkers, right? Whoever is associated with this old world, right, that you feel instinctively you need to fly up from, that you feel is not allowing your true ability to manifest and stand tall as an independent person, right? That card almost caught on fire. Boy, would that have been symbolic. Okay. Right? To really shine through. So it's setting out on your own, right? Where we see sort of codependency and assimilation and a shadowed identity. We see the contrast then of independence, of striking out on your own, right? Of taking your journey into your own hands, right? That's really what I'm feeling. Scorpio. Now, 9 of Pentacles in reverse at your theme. Daughter of Swords. Beneath that, the Lovers upright. Beneath that. Okay. So, the theme 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. This absolutely, I'm sensing, has to do with either career, finances, anything that you contribute to that even perhaps metaphorically gives you a sense, figuratively gives you a sense of stability or groundedness, right? There's a theme of independence here that is waiting to be forged, right? Judgment speaks to independence, right? Independence. So does the tower. Taking down the tower symbolizes faith, right? Faith in a way. Symbolizes the courage, right? To step away from what we've known. To step away from what we've known does not serve us, even if it was maybe comfortable in some way, right? It's about, okay, I'm going to leave this forest, right? I'm going to leave this humble abode that I called home, and I'm going to strike out independently, right? Independently. To face whatever I do. To create whatever I want. But there's so much thinking. There's so much thinking. There's so much reclusiveness, right? So much like, I know I gotta do something, but what do I do? How do I do it? Like, you know? I feel like it's just a matter of this Son of Pentacles turning this Magician upright and they moving together forward, right? Moving through this energy that needs to come through, right? The rising up from this old sort of even habit patterns of thinking, right? So it's like something about the strategic process or even your intellectual mind, how you're rationalizing this change needs to be uprooted and redefined in some way, right? Change. There needs to be a change in that. In your perception of this new path that you're moving down. But so many cards of independence. Son of Pentacles, complete independence, financial and otherwise. The Magician, complete independence. Right? So, just cut through, right? The illusion, any illusion space that you may be still harboring or keeping intact, right? Take down the scaffolding of whatever you know is like, this is not me. This doesn't speak to my truth, right? I know it doesn't, right? I really know it doesn't. And I feel like the theme for you, Scorpio, is with the Nine of Pentacles, but in reverse, it's kind of like abundance awaits you. Keyword awaits, though. It's like the Son of Pentacles is out to create, right? To bring to fruition. And this card, the Nine of Pentacles, speaks to fruition, right? That awaits you, almost like at the finish line. But it's about using the Son of Pentacles. It's like the Magician is like the fuel for the Son of Pentacles, right? In order to create and manifest. So it's like saying, stepping into this inner power, empowering personal energy, very personal energy, right? Soul truth, confidence is what is going to bring you this tangible manifestation, perhaps, or a sense of true groundedness, right? So it's redefining groundedness as well. Now, the Daughter of Swords is beneath the Nine of Pentacles, which is in reverse. And the Lovers is beneath the Daughter of Swords. So, you have a lot of Swords cards. A lot. 2 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the Daughter of Swords. And you know what it's like, Scorpio? It's like, I feel that the Daughter of Swords represents you. Represents your sort of the analytical perch that you remain on, right? That in some shape or form, somewhat maybe inhibits the flight that you want to take. Like, look at the Daughter of Swords. She's just sitting perched. There's a passivity to her, right? As she just is sort of an onlooker. It's almost like kind of awkward, right? Because she's in this really starry night sky, right? It's a rather enchanting energy. But she's just like, it's kind of like first day of school feeling. She's just like sitting there, like looking off, right? There's a feeling of like not taking action, right? It's almost like being so intellectualized, so in the mind, right? That there's no action being taken, right? The owl's not in flight. And the Daughter of Swords is overlaying the Lovers, the 2 birds that are in flight, right? Signifying complete emotional bliss and satisfaction. But the Daughter of Swords is almost like looking over at the Lovers. Kind of like, that's what I want. But like, she's not taking the action, right? He's not taking the action. She's not taking the action, right? So it's like, it's again this dichotomy between flight, freedom, independence, action, initiation, and passivity, right? Stagnancy, remaining, withholding, repressing, hermit, right? 5 of Swords, reverse Tower, right? Not wanting to take it. It's kind of like the shy girl at school. That's the feeling I'm getting, right? First day of school, right? Wants to go hang out with the Lovers. Seems like so much fun, such a free-flowing place, right? But ultimately, the Daughter of Swords needs to get off of her sword in order to fly and join this experience, right? So it's a matter of getting off the perch. I think that's really what it's about. It's about that jump. It's about that first step, right? Performance anxiety. That's all it is. I really feel for you, all right? Stepping into that magician kind of vibe where you really align with yourself. You get really, really clear and solid on your purpose and your path, right? But really, like, your path as one that's driven by your very personalized soul journey, right? And the more you connect to that, and the more you work on building that radiating confidence, even with the path that you're moving down, I feel like that's going to push you, right, to be able to actually make this jump, right? The phoenix rising from the ashes, judgment, turning that card upright, Tower, turning that card upright, stepping into that Pluto energy, transformative, right? Transmute, transform, ascend, right? So it's all about perspective again. It's all about perspective, perception, right? It's like, how are we looking at it? We could look at it as scary, or we could look at it as like, hey, this is an opportunity to grow, right? Am I going to look at this 5 of Swords card as like, oh, this is scary, right? Got to cut through this worm. Or am I going to look at it as like, okay, got to make progress and movement forward. When I do this, I'm going to get closer to where I need to go, right? So I hope this was helpful for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back with a last moon quarter reading, hopefully soon. The time has been kind of crazy, so but it should be coming. All right, so stay tuned for that. Also, I highly recommend you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign, as oftentimes those can provide even further insights. I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign. All right, so check those out. If you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide and put in your birth details and information. Just make sure, though, that your time is correct, even down to the minute, as a few off could change your signs quite a bit. All right? So thank you so much again, Scorpio. Have a beautiful February and March. Really, again, harness that magician's energy, okay, to get you to the place that you need to go, to do what you need to do. And true abundance lies on the other side. True stability and independence, right? The fruition that is brought forward by way of your personalized efforts, right, within your journey. That is really what lies at the end for you, okay? Thank you so much again, Scorpio. I'll see you soon.